She loved the county in the nighttime. Spliff road, you drowning in a white wine. Pure like the Colombian pipeline. Between the love and hate is a tight line. Truth reveal itself at the right time. Only be with my kind in the like minds. Losing my shit on the low. On the low, low, low. I let God take control. Control. I never give up my soul. My soul. I know my angels on go. On go. Mama said it be days like this. Mama said it would be days like this. Part of the reason I blaze my spliff. Appreciate.
All right, what's going on, y'all? This is Clarence Jr. breaking down the Bulldogs. And listen, we're gonna get it right out the way. All right, listen.
So we don't have the capacity.
Yes. We know what happened. We went out to Delaware State, and listen, man, they beat us, man. They took it to us, man. We caught that L. We caught that beat down. That okay. We're gonna get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. We got to talk about the Delaware State game. We got to talk about the Livingstone game coming up. We got to go over the new rankings, CIAA Week 2 rankings. Also, it is Prove It Week in the CIAA. We got to get into that too. A lot of big games this weekend. But without further ado, we're going to get into let's just talk about what happened with Delaware State. I got the stats. I got a very few clips because I wasn't able to make it out to Delaware State to this game because my daughter had she had to cheerlead on Saturday at 3:00 in La Plata. So obviously couldn't be in two places at once. So I wasn't able to be there in person. So I have very little footage because it wasn't on the CIAA Sports Network. It was on ESPN Plus. So, in terms of screen grabbing from Hulu, they don't let you do that. So I had to record a phone with a phone and all that. So, but anyway, I did watch the game. So before I get into the very few clips and we talk about what went wrong and go through the stats, I'm gonna go off the top first and just tell you what my thoughts were just watching the game. Initially, my thoughts were, Delaware State is a lot faster this year than they were 2 years ago. That was my first thought. That was what I expected initially. Those guys are much faster and much more athletic. They have better athletes this year than they did 2 years ago. I knew that was going to be the case. Whether or not they are a championship competitive team or anything like that, I didn't think that. But I knew for sure one thing they were going to have with Deshaun Jackson, that coach, they were going to have a lot more speed than they had 2 years ago. And that was going to be a problem to deal with. And it was right off the rip. They had 2 big touchdowns, got up 14-0 early. However, I liked how we responded. Went on a long drive, got a touchdown, put the score at 14-7, right back in the game. As a matter of fact, one thing that jumped out to me about Delaware State was a very, very undisciplined team. They had so many penalties that if we could have capitalized it, we could have made the game a lot more closer because they are very undisciplined. Not really all that effective in the passing game overall. Not good in the secondary. They were, they can be gotten. But let's talk about it. It's 14-0. We get the touchdown, 14-7. We got a chance. But here were the issues. Matter of fact, I'm going to go into some stuff I like. It was a lot that I saw that I liked. The defense was very physical. The defense got a lot more pressure in this game than which is strange. Got more pressure more consistently, got in the backfield more often than they did against Shippensburg. That was interesting because, but I like to see that. A lot more pressure, a lot more. I see, man, that's going to be a solid defense. We had a few plays where I don't know why, because once again, I'm traveling and trying to watch the game at the same time. But there were a few passing touchdowns where guys were wide open. I'm not sure what happened, but hey, it is what it is. It was a rough game. Blown coverages. Well, I can't even say blown coverages. Just big plays given up, lots of penalties, lots of mistakes. We're gonna get into it. But I did like that. I saw that there was a lot more pressure on the quarterback in this game. A lot more guys consistently getting into the backfield in this game. Also, I like the running game. We have a solid running game. I was initially worried about the running game coming into the season because, we struggled running the ball about 2 years ago. Then we brought in a new O-line coach, ran the ball great last year. But then he left. But hey, still running the ball quite well. I like that. And then also play calling. I like the play calling. Solid. I like the secondary outside of the few big plays. But in terms of pass coverage, I like it. But let's get into the issues, man. There were quite a few. Issue number one. There were quite a few drop passes in this game. A decent amount of drop passes in this game. That's number one. Number two, far too many penalties in this game. Far too many. Unsportsmanlike conducts, running into the kicker when you're about to get off the field on fourth down, stuff like that. They just, come on. This is the second game in a row where it's just too many penalties. 5, 6, maybe even 7 is like, okay. But once you start 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that's too many penalties. Drop passes, penalties. And this is the part that jumped out to me the most. At a certain point, the coaching staff is going to have to make a decision at quarterback and stick with it. Now, it's one thing to do it, play, it's one thing. Actually, no, one quarterback played the whole game at Shippensburg. Okay. Week 2, game kind of got out of hand early. You play both guys. Okay. But we are now in week 3. We are in CIAA play. It's a big game. We're going to talk about it. At this point in time, you got to make a decision. You got to ride with it. There's quite a few teams playing multiple quarterbacks. From FBS all the way on down, none of them are doing all that well. Colorado trying to play multiple quarterbacks. Not going well for them. Who else played multiple quarterbacks? In the CIAA, you had, I think Fayetteville State played a few quarterbacks. Livingstone has played a couple of quarterbacks. You gotta pick a guy. You gotta roll with it. That leads me to this. And listen, trying to think of how I want to say this. All right. This is a message for Kevin Taylor, but not just him, for just young, talented people in general. And I say young people because I'm almost 40. I'm sure he can't be no older than 2021, right? So that's why I say that. Young people, you have to understand. And let me, that's as big as I can make it. All right, cool. Young people, you have to understand that talent and potential it's amazing up until a point. But when it comes to talent and potential, at a certain point in time, you got to show and prove. People will get excited over talent and potential up until a point. But eventually a time comes where now you gotta show it. You gotta prove it. Why do I say this? I say this because if any of you have been following Bowie State football in the spring leading up to the season, which I'm sure a lot of you have, there was quite a few people at the spring game and so forth and so on. This channel has grown. We're almost at 500, which reminds me, hit the subscribe button. We should be able to hit 500 subs by the end of the Livingstone game. So a lot of you have been paying attention to Bowie State football. And if you have, like I have, then you know the word around town for a good while now, going back to last year, was Kevin Taylor has it. He's got the size. He's about 6'3", 6'4". I saw the strength and conditioning post over the summer where he done put on some muscle. He has quick twitch. He has anticipation. He has a good arm. He's accurate. He has the skills and the tools and the talent and the potential to do some very big things at Bowie State. And who knows, depending on how the year could go, potential to move on to something else. Because that's how it is these days. Guys have a big year at Division II, and they move on up to FCS. Some even move up to FBS. A few years ago, there was a guy from Baltimore, Dunbar High School, that was at Shaw. Couldn't really catch, but he was fast. I mean, he ran like a 4.3, 4.4. He went from Shaw all the way to Liberty based off of pure speed. Because like I said, he didn't have hands, but pure speed. So listen, if you come CIAA and you ball out, there's potential for you to go somewhere else if that's what you choose to do. But the prerequisite to that is production at this level. I was even watching the broadcast. Even the broadcaster was saying, man, we were watching Kevin Taylor warm up and the ball just flies off his hands. And yes, we've all seen the potential there. But once again, at a certain point, talent and potential has to turn into real life, tangible results, or it don't really matter. And so once again, my message to just young people overall is when you have talent and potential and ability, don't put the cart before the horse, right? Don't get so complacent and arrogant or whatever the case may be. Don't let anything get in the way of you actually producing. That's all I'm saying. You don't get caught up in how good you are. Get caught up in the production, because what happens with a lot of young people, and I was young once. I'm still not that old, but I was younger once. And it's easy to get caught up on what you can do. And you get so caught up on what you can do that you fail to put yourself in a position to do it. I'm going to say that again. When you're young, it is so easy to get so caught up in what you can do that you fail to put yourself in a position to actually do it because of how you carry yourself, because of your work ethic, because of your maturity, whatever the case may be. Some of you, even you young folks, you know, some of the guys you went to high school with, man, he had so much talent. He could have did this. He should have did that. He should have went there, but he didn't. He didn't. We all know somebody, man. How come he didn't go to college and do this? He could have. Yeah, he could have. He didn't. Why do I say this? I say this because if we, like I said, we've all been watching Kevin Taylor, right? We all have. And just being honest, there's no way that Kevin Taylor should have came into the season not the starting quarterback unless he did something to make that not happen. And once again, I don't know anything. I haven't spoken to anybody. What I'm saying is common sense. It's obvious. When a young person has that much talent and that much skill and that much ability, there's no reason why they wouldn't be the starting quarterback unless there's something that they got going on that caused them to not be that. It's that simple. There's no way you're telling me, especially when this young man was the guy the entire spring and summer. There's no way you're telling me that everything went according to plan. The young man did everything he was supposed to do, and they just said, "You know what? We're gonna go in a different direction." I can't believe it happened like that. I'm sorry. It couldn't have happened like that. And so, and as a matter of fact, let me show you these clips, because one of these clips that I'm going to show you is going to show you part of the reason why I think because the truth be told, there should not be a situation where we're trying to figure out who the quarterback is. But I'm going to show you something that's going to highlight to you why we're in this position, in my opinion. And it's something that a lot of people probably just look right on past and was like, but let me show you this. All right. So first we got the good plays, right? Malachi Anthony's in there. Like I said, we were down 14-0. Once again, excuse the quality of the video. But like I said, I was in La Plata at a rec football game, recording a phone with a phone because you can't screen record Hulu. So that's why it looks like this. But we're down 14-0. We drive down the field, and hey, man, we in business. We in business. We in the game. This is the other touchdown late in the game. That's why I said, hey, one of the things that I took away, we got a run game for the second year in a row. That's important because the last few years we've been playing the time of possession, possess the ball kind of game. We've been doing that for the past 2 years. The main thing's been finishing drives and things like that, but we've been doing that, right? But here, okay, so here is the issue. This is what I mean by talent and potential. Eventually, it has to show itself in results on the field, or it don't matter. Once again, my personal opinion or theory is that if everything went the way it was supposed to go over the course of spring and summer and all of that, Kevin Taylor would be the starting quarterback. Just me personally, I feel as though the talent and the potential is there to where if the work ethic was right, if the maturity was there, if the leadership was there, if the intangibles were there, if the consistency was there, if the reliability, like thinking that you can trust this person, was there, he would have been a starting quarterback week 1 at Shippensburg. It's my personal opinion that something went on or something is going on to where those in positions of power are not sure if they can trust or rely on Kevin Taylor, or there's a maturity issue there, or something's going on. That's my personal opinion. Because, listen, I like Malachi Anthony. He's a solid player. But I'm going to be real with you. In my personal opinion, his ceiling and Kevin Taylor's ceiling are they're different ceilings. They just are. And so the question becomes, how do we find ourselves in a situation at Shippensburg where Malachi Anthony is the starting quarterback and Kevin Taylor is not even listed on the roster, but he's at the game fully dressed? And obviously not injured because, number one, he traveled. Number two, he's fully dressed. And then number three, he played on this Saturday. So that's what I'm saying. There is something, in my opinion, that has not clicked yet for the young man. And even though all the talent in the world, all the potential in the world, but is the maturity there? Can you rely on him? Can you count on him? Can he lead this team to the heights that the team wants to go to? And this play that I'm about to show you, some of you already know what it is. This play right here highlighted to me why Malachi Anthony has been the starting quarterback. So before I even play the clip, let me explain to you what's going on. So as you can see, it's late. It's halfway through the third quarter. Game's out of hand. It's 36-7. They've taken Malachi out. They've put Kevin Taylor in. You said, what aspect of his game do you like better? Well, okay, let me answer that real quick. I'm just gonna be real, and this is my personal opinion. Somebody say I'm biased because I went to Bowie, but listen, I've watched every Bowie State team so far this year, and when I talk about the position of quarterback, I'm talking about standing in the pocket, making anticipatory throws, mechanics, how the ball comes off your hand, the throws you can make, your accuracy, the timing, how quick you can make decisions. Also, height. When I look at all of those things, Kevin Taylor, in my opinion, has the potential to be the best quarterback in the CIAA easily. Once again, the potential. The thing is, can you make it happen? So once again, something went down. Also, we've seen Malachi Anthony against Shippensburg and against Delaware State. He's solid. He's solid, but in my opinion, there's a difference. A difference in terms of natural talent. Now, once you start talking about being reliable, being a leader, being coachable, being timely, stuff like that going to meetings, going to class, showing up for walkthrough, taking practice seriously, those kinds of things. Now, that might be the difference. Once again, I'm not there. I don't know. But listen, there's a reason why Malachi Anthony started week 1. Let's just be real. With the talent that Kevin Taylor has, in what world does a guy who was not even on the team for spring ball start over him unless something goes wrong? Let's just think about it logically. All the way up until what? All the way up until fairly recently, the consensus was this is Kevin Taylor's team. So something had to have happened between then and game 1 to where he didn't play at all. And then once again, I have the media guide. He wasn't even listed. But okay. But anyway, back to this clip that I think highlights what the issue is. The game's out of hand. They've taken Anthony out. Taylor's in there. Opportunity. Show what you got. Show that you're supposed to be the guy. Show that potential. Show that this is supposed to be your team. Show that this is your moment and you're ready. The game's over, but you can still put some stuff together, get into a rhythm, and make them think, hey, maybe we need to make a. All right? So here it is. You didn't drove down the field. It's 1st and goal. This is a walk-in touchdown. Let me show you guys what happened. And I slowed it down. First of all, perfect read. He had the option. He kept it. Perfect decision. Perfect play call. He's going to walk into the end zone. Start to build some momentum. And hey, maybe we figuring out somebody else is going to be the starter for week 3 and going forward. Maybe. Let's see what happens, though. I could not believe it when I saw it. He fumbled the football. Let me go back. Because you're thinking how? Once again, perfect read, perfect play call. A walk-in touchdown. Look, I gotta go back. I gotta slow it down even more. Because if you look at it closely, what happened was he was carrying the football in a very insecure way. Like he didn't tuck the ball away. And none of the defenders did not knock the ball out of his hand. His own knee, hit the ball out of his hand. And he fumbled the ball into the end zone for a touchback. That's what happened. Let me show you this again. Let me slow it down. All right. Once again, great play call. Great decision. He pulls the ball. This is a walk-in touchdown. Walk-in. Hey, look. The ball is hard to see. I apologize for the quality of the video. But he's holding the ball. He's palming the football like a basketball. He doesn't have it tucked away. He's palming it like a basketball. He sees a defender coming, so I'm guessing he's like, oh, let me try and put it away now. But right here, you can see the ball is going to hit his knee. And he's going to fumble the ball. There's the ball on the ground. Now he's diving to try to get the ball back. Look, now he has his hands on his head because he's like, I can't believe I just did that. That's what happened. So, in my opinion, that's why he hasn't been starting. I don't believe the coaching staff thinks they can trust him. I don't think they think they can count on him. I think they're thinking, man, he has so much talent. If he could just get it together, but he ain't figured it out yet, in my opinion. Once again, I don't know. I ain't talked to nobody, but when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. This is a walk-in touchdown. He knocks the ball out of his own hand with his knee. Right after this, he's taken out of the game, and they go back to Anthony. So once again, this is the opportunity. You got all the skill, all the talent in the world. This is the opportunity, and this is what happens. Off the knee, touchback. I mean, listen, man. I don't. But like I said, listen. Everything is still in front of the Bowie State Bulldogs. We're going into week 3, conference play. We're 1-1. The one game we lost was against a FCS school that's on the rise, on the road. Okay, it is what it is. But now we get into the conference schedule. There are 8 games left. 4 on the road, 4 at home, all conference games. But guess what? When we break it down even further, the road games, Lincoln, Bluefield, Livingstone, and then there's Union on the road. We got Fayetteville, who's down this year, 0-3, coming to Bowie. We got Winston-Salem State coming to Bowie. We got Virginia State, looks good, coming to Bowie. We have Elizabeth City State. They look better, but they still haven't won a game. They're 0-3. Basically, they have a good first half. They run out of gas. They're coming to Bowie for our homecoming. So everything is right there in front of the team. It's just it starts this weekend with Livingstone. All right, let me take this off the screen because that joint, golly, man. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Once again, I support all the young people that's going to Bowie State, whether they play sports or not. I support them all. Hope they're all successful. And that was out of love. That was not out of hate or bashing. I hope the young man reaches his full potential because he has a lot of potential. Like when you have talent like that, there's so many different things you can do. Like you can stay at Bowie your whole career and break records and get into coaching. You know, try out for the USFL or the Canadian League or whatever the case may be, or you can crush it and kill it for one season, win a championship, and transfer up to a FCS. Like there's so many different things you can do when you have that level of talent. And so I hope that this young man figures it out fast for his own sake, for his future. For his future. Because listen, I never had that level of talent. And truthfully, when I was in high school, my favorite sport was basketball. You know, that's the sport that I wanted to play. I went to Randallstown High School. At the time I was going there, they were winning back-to-back state championships, 3 in a row. They lost like 5 games in 4 years. So yeah, I wasn't making varsity. So that was the end of my athletic dream, right? So because I can already hear, oh, you ain't play. Yeah, I didn't play. I wasn't that good. It is what it is. I wasn't gonna make it. Now, if I would have went to Western Tech, I might have could have made the basketball team. You know, no disrespect to Western Tech. If any of y'all went to Western Tech, no disrespect. But I mean, come on, man. If I would have went to Lansdowne, I probably could have made the team. But it just so happened I was going to Randallstown, which is the best team in Baltimore County, one of the best teams in Baltimore by far for that stretch. So it is what it is. I didn't make it. I wasn't good enough. So just to be clear on that, right? But I'm rooting for this young man. Because, man, all that talent, man, there's so much he could do with that. But, hey, it is what it is, man. Now, let's go through the stats of this game. Then we're going to talk about Livingstone. So, here's the issues. Let's look at them. It's hard to see. See, niggas getting old. Issue that we had against Delaware State that hopefully we don't have against the rest of the conference, even Union. We gave up 278 rushing yards. However, we also had 200 rushing yards in that game. So that's good. We can run the ball. We got to stop the run a little bit better. We had 176 passing yards, only gave up 194, which was, that's too many against Delaware State's passing game. So, we got to work on that. Gave up 470 yards total, but once again, that level of speed and athleticism we probably won't see in conference play, but we still got to tighten it up. Here's where one of the issues were, though, regardless of who you're playing. 12 penalties for 102 yards. That's an issue. 12 for 102. Time of possession was pretty much even, and we were 5 of 19 on third and fourth down. That's not good enough. 1 for 2 in the red zone. We saw the one time in the red zone when we didn't get nothing. That just can't happen. That can't, I don't want to beat up on it, but yeah, that just can't happen. So let's look at the numbers. Micah Robinson, 11 carries, 98 yards and a touchdown. Average 8 yards a carry. Great game. Look at this. Kevin Taylor, 6 carries for 46 yards. Like I said, the talent is there. Malachi Anthony had 5 carries for 41 yards. Also, Malachi Anthony was 16 for 30 with 114 yards and a touchdown. Kevin Taylor was 12 for 16 for 62 yards. Joseph Toller had 9 catches for 63 yards. Shout out to him. And listen, also I forgot about to mention this. I like our punt and kickoff return guys. We got some talent, some speed, some electricity. Ty Lyles, listen, that he gets the ball or a kickoff or a punt, you got to watch out. Ty Lyles is going to make a play. I predict that before the season over, Ty Lyles is going to take one of these kicks to the house. He's going to flip a game for us one of these games. He has the talent, all right? Now, let me go ahead and pull this up. Let's look at Livingstone, who is our next opponent. Livingstone is 1-1, and the dangerous thing about Livingstone is well rested. They are coming off of a bye. They played week 0. They played week 1. They were off last week, so they having their home opener after a bye week where they got the rest, and they already remember how they beat us out there 2 years ago. So they're going to be ready to play. So all the turnovers, the penalties, you can't have that. You go out there on that blue field doing all that kind of stuff, and, man, it could get ugly. But let's look at Livingstone. So this is a weakness that Livingstone has. So first of all, they played Charleston, and we saw the clips and the highlights from that game, broke that down. They got beat down in that game. They got obliterated. But to their credit, week 1, they went on the road to the SEAC school, Allen University, and they beat Allen handily, So they already they're coming into this game already have a win under their belt. They're 1-1, just like we're 1-1. They start off with 2 road games. We start off with 2 road games. Right? And they beat Allen. But here's what jumps out to me about Livingstone. They cannot stop the run. They can't stop the run. Charleston rushed for 271 yards against them. Now, some could say, hey, man, that team is just better than them, so it is what it is. But then we look at Allen. Allen also rushed for over 200 yards against them. So they're weak against the run. That's an issue. Livingstone is weak against the run. They can be had in the run. And so on the road, I'm thinking the team will probably try to exploit that and win the time of possession, because when it came to time of possession last season, that was one statistical area that Bowie State was very dominant in. I expect them to try to continue that here in this game. They can't stop the run. That's the issue. They really can't stop the pass all that much either, because Allen also had 181 yards. Charleston had 285 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that's what I'm looking at. Then let's look at individual. They've played 2 quarterbacks, but from what it looks like to me, just watching them, I think Alfredo Sotelo is pretty much the starter. I don't think we'll see Elijah Alexander. I could be wrong, though. Like, Alfredo's taking the majority of the snaps. He's 22 of 44, 50%, 1 touchdown. You know, it's okay. They've both played in both, so yeah, nothing all that, amazing. Then we look at rushing. Malik Stanton has 95 total yards on the season so far, but 63 of that came against a big run, garbage time against Charleston week 1. Well, week 0, where they were down a lot. That was like their only touchdown of the game, I believe. So they don't really run the ball all that well, nor do they pass it all that well, nor do they stop the run all that well. But once again, it's going to come down to Bowie State and are we going to run the ball? Are we going to protect the ball? Are we going to limit the turnovers? Because if you don't do those things, it really don't matter who you playing, especially on the road, you can lose. But once again, this game is important. This is a very, very important game. Because like I said, conference play starts this week. We got this is Prove It week in the CIAA. Let me go ahead and show you guys that. This is Prove It week in the CIAA. As a matter of fact, I see we got 40 people in the building. Shout out to y'all. We didn't hit a personal record. 40 people in the building. I may even open up or invite somebody to come up on the stream. I'll think about it. We'll see. But make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the video. I want to show you this post very quickly. Also, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram as well. So, this is what I posted. It's Prove It week in the CIAA. We have JCSU, Johnson C. Smith, at Union. I believe they're at Union. Either way, they play each other on Saturday. We have Winston-Salem State at Virginia State. Virginia State's coming off of a bye. And then we have us going to Livingstone. This is Prove It week. There's been a lot of talk about Virginia Union going on a 3-peat. They just lost a shootout at Edward Waters. There's been a lot of talk about Virginia State and how good they looked against Barton, and then how good they looked in the loss against Norfolk State. Winston is talking a whole lot because they just blew out Lincoln. And of course, I've been talking a whole lot about Bowie State and what we can do. So this is the week. Conference players started. This is the week. It's time for people to prove it. You feel like you got the talent. You feel like you a contender. Time to prove it. Winston's coach before the season started said it was championship or bust. Okay, it's time to prove it. He said it's their year. Okay, time to prove it. Now, very quickly, I'm going to show you guys, just so you know, kind of what, Livingstone is working with this year. They posted some highlights. And make sure y'all subscribe to the Blue Bear Sports Network. We want to make sure we support CIAA platforms and help them all to blow up and grow. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys Livingstone's highlights versus Allen that they posted. Let's check this out. Well, I just slowed it down too much. Hold on. Let's check these out. Let's see what Bluefield. Let's see what Livingstone looking like. Okay, this is their last game against Allen. Once again, they're coming off a bye week. They're very well rested. And they actually won this game convincingly. It was 28-17, if I'm not mistaken. So this is who we playing. This is who we playing on Saturday. I'm strongly considering taking that super long ride up to Bluefield. I keep saying Bluefield, up to Livingstone, just because I haven't been there. And one of the goals is to visit every single CIAA school. So this will be able to help me to cross them off the list. Also, I applied for a media credential. We'll see if I get an email back. The reason I say we'll see if I get an email back, because listen, the form was from like 3 years ago. They didn't update the form from like 3 years ago. So I don't know if anybody's even going to check it because it's that old, like the form that they have up there. They haven't even put up a new form in a couple of years. I guess they don't get too many requests. So we'll see. If I don't hear anything tomorrow, I might just call up there, see if I can get one like that. Because, like I said, the form was from like 2023. So, but as you can see, Livingstone, they came to play. They got Allen up out of there. Look, they even had some fans travel. Look, who knows Livingstone? Boy, we got to do better. How is it that Livingstone got fans traveling more so than us? And they ain't never won nothing. We got to do better. Honestly, if I show up to Livingstone, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's probably if I do go, it ain't gonna be but probably like 20 Bowie fans total. Yeah, Bowie State fans, man, we gotta do better. We gotta start traveling, man. We got to start traveling, especially like games like Lincoln. We got to be deep at Lincoln. Lincoln is like an hour and a half from Bowie. We got to show up, man. Got to show up. But yeah, this is Livingstone. That's what they looking like. I think that might be the end of the video. Oh, let's listen to this speech. Hold on.
But keep the eye of the tiger. Take your pads off. Make sure you hydrate. I don't want no bunch of talking. Tiger.
I want to hear this speech.
Take advantage of the delay. But keep the eye of the tiger. Take your pads off. Make sure you hydrate. I don't want no bunch of talking. I want you focused on finishing the game. Focus on finishing. Dominating energy. Dominating energy. You understand? Yes, sir. Don't tell me you understand that you out here and all of a sudden you're giving up nothing. Your eyes got to get bigger.
Okay, Coach. Okay. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay. I give coaches credit. That was pretty good. I give it to them. Okay. They came out in the second half. Okay, that worked out. Okay, yep, 28-17. Shout out to Livingstone, man. Okay, cool. So that's what we got looking. That's what we got on Saturday. Like I said, this is an important game. There's 8 games left, 4 at home, 4 on the road. The 4 road games, Livingstone. Like the schedule really, the schedule is favorable, as favorable as it can be. When you think about who's at home, who's on the road. To have a road in conference road schedule of Lincoln, Bluefield, Livingstone, and Union. Hey, you can't be mad at that. That means you got Fayetteville State, Winston-Salem State, ECSU, and Virginia State all at home. Hey, it's real simple. What you gonna do? So real quickly, let me pull up the. I want to see if I can pull up the rankings, because every week we put out rankings, and the rankings change week to week based upon who wins the game. And so a team might be first or second one week. They might drop down. They might go up. But let me go ahead and pull that up so you can see where everybody's ranked at. Let me see. All right, go to download. All right. I think this is how you open it. All right, here we go. And once again, it's early, so all this might change because once again, it is proven week. But here we go. We got Johnson C. Smith coming in at number 1. Now, they did have a scare this week versus ECSU. ECSU almost got them up out of there. Virginia State, they're 1-1. They were off last week, but once again, they're hosting Winston-Salem State. So one of these teams is either staying the same or dropping or going up. Then we have Union. They just lost to Atwood Waters, and they're about to host JCSU. So either JCSU is going to be 3-1 or 4-0. Either Union's going to be either 2-1 or 1-2. This is a big game for Union. Then we got WSSU. They just mollywopped Lincoln. They're 2-1. Then we got Bowie State. We caught one on the chin at Delaware State. We're 1-1. At number 6 is the team that we play on Saturday. Livingstone, who's also 1-1. Then there's Elizabeth City State. They're 0-3, but they have had 2 very competitive games versus Hampton and then versus Johnson C. Smith. There's Fayetteville State, who is also 0-3. Problem with Fayetteville State is they don't have a quarterback. It's really that simple. They don't have a quarterback. Their running game isn't all that impressive either. Or their secondary. Honestly, this is just a down year for Fayetteville State. They'll win some games off of just pure coaching, but it's a down year for Fayetteville State. Lincoln is number 9. Lincoln is much better offensively. Like, they can score some points, but that defense is terrible. As a matter of fact, real quick, before the season, I said I thought Lincoln might go winless. I need to apologize to the Lincoln University Lions because Lincoln is not going to go winless. I'm going to pull up their schedule. Let's see. I'm going to show you right now. Lincoln, I said that because that's what I thought at the time. But seeing them, Lincoln won't go winless. Lincoln is going to win one. Lincoln might win 3 games. One for sure. But Lincoln is not going to go winless. Lincoln might win 3 games this year. So, my bad, Lincoln. I said y'all was going to go winless. You're not going to go winless. That's my bad. Season started. I seen y'all play. Y'all better than that. Bluefield, another school. Much improved on offense. But man, that defense, that Bluefield defense, oh my goodness. Bluefield State just played Wingate on Saturday, and oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. 72-7. They lost. That's a score that we would get when we play at FCS schools, 72-7. You should not be losing to other Division II schools 72-7, especially if it's not Ferris State or somebody. 72-7. It was 49-0 at the half. And we're gonna get into this when we do the breaking down the CIAA show. But listen, when I tell you that Wingate, they let everybody get a touchdown in this game. Wingate had 8 different guys score a touchdown in this game versus Bluefield State. I mean, that's some of the worst defense I've ever seen. I've never seen the game where you let 7, 8 different people score a touchdown. I mean, it was like everybody. If you ain't never scored a touchdown in your collegiate career, they was putting you in the game so you could finally get a touchdown. It was insane. And they took the foot off the gas at 72-0. They could have scored 100 if they wanted to. I'm just being real. So Bluefield State comes in at 10. But the saddest sight of all, it's unfortunate, man. Shaw University. Shaw is the worst team in the CIAA by far. Shaw just lost on Saturday 14-6 to a school that just moved up to Division II this year. Ferrum. This is Ferrum's first year playing Division II football. And Shaw, I understand it's a first-year head coach. I understand that. But you cannot lose this game. You can't lose that game. And what I'm about to say, I don't take pride in it, but it is what it is. Just being honest with you guys, Shaw is not going to win a football game this year. I hate to be the one to say it. Shaw University is not going to win a football game this year. Hold on. That's the issue. I looked at this. First of all, if you can't beat Ferrum, who can you beat? And just being real, I'm gonna pull up Shaw's schedule and I'm gonna look at it. I don't see a win. That was their best chance, and they didn't get it. They're going to Lincoln. They can't beat Lincoln. Lincoln can score the ball. Lincoln can score. So if nothing else, Lincoln will outscore Shaw. So they're not going to beat Lincoln at Lincoln. Then they're hosting Virginia Union. I mean, like we only got to talk about that. That's not going to happen. Then they're going to Bluefield. They can't beat Bluefield. Bluefield is going to score a whole lot of points against Shaw, and there's nothing Shaw can do about it. They're not going to beat Bluefield. Johnson C. Smith, like we don't even got to talk about that. Fayetteville State. Fayetteville State can't score, but Fayetteville State going to find some points in this game. They're not going to be Fayetteville State. Going to Livingstone, they're not going to be Livingstone. I'm sorry. Emory and Henry, a non-conference game to close out the season. That's very rare in the CIAA, actually. Interesting schedule, but they're not going to win that game either. So, yeah, Shaw is not going to win the game this year. It's not in the cards. It's unfortunate. I really wanted them, and they really needed to win this game on last Saturday. This is a team that just came to D2. They're not good. You got to win that game. And when I say this team just came to D2, I mean literally this team was in the Division III conference last year. Last year, they were playing D3 football, and they weren't even a competitor in D3 last year, and they moved up. They had to win this game, and they didn't do it. There's no wins on the schedule. I'm just being real. But there we have it. That's the top. Those are the rankings for week 2. Hopefully, I'm gonna give you my predictions for. Matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna save that for breaking down the CIAA. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. We hit a record today. 42 live viewers. Hopefully, we got 42 likes on the video. Hopefully, we got at least 10 new subscribers. 42 people. It should be at least 42 likes on the stream when I end it. But once again, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Hopefully, I can run into some of y'all at what's the name of that? Livingstone. I know, man. I don't know why I said that. Y'all ain't about to make that drive, but hopefully somebody does, right? Hopefully somebody does. If you enjoyed the content, listen. The Cash App is there. In the description is going to be the PayPal. Show a brother some love, man.
Donations. 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 Gifts. Gifts.
The torch of truth.